Post-Impressionism. Post-Impressionism is a direction in painting that began in the late 19th century in France. The term post-impressionism was introduced by the English critic Roger Fry, expressing the general impression of an exhibition of modern French art he organized in London in 1910, which features the works of Van Gogh, Seurat, Paul Cézanne, and other artists. Post-impressionism was inspired by impressionism and emphasizes colors. The artists in this group used thick brushstrokes and lines to express their feelings in their paintings. They preferred bright, bold colors, especially yellows and purples. The post-impressionists used different creative systems and techniques, united in essence only by the fact that they were based on impressionism. The post-impressionists tried to realize the dream of harmony between man and nature, thus anticipating the emergence of symbolism and modernity. Post-impressionists didn't observe the academic accuracy of the transfer of forms and colors. They interpreted reality in their own way. Some of the most famous representatives of post-impressionism were Vincent van Gogh, Paul Cézanne, and Henri Rousseau.
Hi, Dr. Betty Brown here, and the topic is Post-Impressionism. As I'm sure you know, Impressionism was an early avant-garde art movement. It began in the late 19th century in France, where artists like Claude Monet were inspired by their predecessors Gustave Courbet and Edouard Manet to create images of their own daily realities. Monet was in love with light and color, and he sought to capture the fleeting impressions of light and color as they played across a harbor or a picnic ground. That was Impressionism, but Post-Impressionism was the next generation of avant-garde artists, and it was dominated by immense personalities like Paul Gauguin and Vincent van Gogh and Paul Cézanne, and they all took different approaches. Gauguin sought symbolism in what he called primitive life, whether it was in northern France or Tahiti. Van Gogh sought to infuse his paintings with deeply felt, passionate emotions so that he could portray the evil in men's souls and the way the divine touches our daily experience. And Paul Cézanne, anticipating Cubism, sought to analyze the structure and form of apples and tables and a mountain that he saw outside his studio window. Post-Impressionism, second generation of avant-garde artists, located in France, taking a whole lot of different approaches, building on the advances of the Impressionists before them.
Now I would like to talk a little bit more about Vincent van Gogh and Paul Cézanne. Vincent van Gogh. He was born in Holland in a small town in the family of a pastor. At the age of 16 he got acquainted with painting. The first heroes of his paintings were diggers, peasants, and scavengers. Then he moved to Paris, but his art wasn't recognized there. The images of his paintings are painted with pessimistic and alarming moods. Any portrait and landscape is filled by those restless feelings that have overwhelmed him. He reached emotional impact of colors, dynamic brushstrokes and lines, sharp expressiveness of forms. Vincent van Gogh died unrecognized, but world fame came to him much later. And there are some pictures of Vincent van Gogh. This is a picture of Vincent van Gogh's Night Café Terrace, written in 1888. In his painting Night Café Terrace, the intensely blue sky seems ominously gloomy, despite the huge shining stars. A piercingly bright lemon-yellow light is flooded with a street cafe. Visitors are sitting in it, passers-by are walking along the street, but the mood of desolation and daily loneliness prevail over everything. The next famous artist is Paul Cézanne. He is a French artist, a vivid representative of post-impressionism. He operated predominantly by gradations of the three primary colors, green, blue, and yellow. Thin, sharply contrasted, dense body strokes he designated with their help spatial plans and the degree of illumination. Creations of Cézanne, who was one of the main masters of Post-Impressionism, exerted a tremendous influence both on many artists of the 20th century and on whole directions of fine art. In conclusion, I want to say that art is something high, helping people to understand themselves and see the world through the eyes of other people. It's wonderful that more and more artists with their own style appear and open new directions to express what is not customary to express in words. Thanks for your attention.